Hey, you YouTube and Snapchat and fuckers. Thanks for checking out another episode of the Friday Wrap-Up. Well, it has been a fucking week. Unless you just landed on planet Earth today, about 5 minutes ago. You know what I'm talking about, kids. Well, first off, before we kick off the show, I'd like to tip my hat to today's libation. This is a gentleman's old fashioned. I think I was sitting there racking my brain. Today's a pretty big day, so I said, I gotta do something. I gotta do something special in the cocktail department. So I put my old thinking cap on, and I says, I am a big fan of Jack Daniels, and nothing says upscale Jack Daniels like a little gentleman Jack. So here's how you make a gentleman's old fashioned. This is a classic cocktail. This is how I used to hire bartenders. If they couldn't make this, I'd fucking toss them right out the door. So. Very simple. You start with a couple of maraschino cherries. I prefer the ones that are soaked in bourbon. A couple of orange segments, a little splash of club soda, and a little splash of simple syrup. And you muddle that in the bottom of a glass. Then you add a couple of dashes of bitters. You add about 2 ounces of your favorite bourbon. I'm using a little Gentleman Jack. But you could use some Knob Creek, Maker's Mark, Booker's. Jim Beam is good too. You could go with regular Jack Daniels if you're feeling a little frisky. So you put your alcohol in there. You add some ice. You top it with you give it a stir. You top it with a little orange twist. What I'd like to do is I like to pop it over a lighter so it ignites some of the oils that are in the orange peel, and it perfumes the glass nicely. And there you go, my friends. This is a gentleman's old-fashioned. Drink up and be somebody. A salud. Oh, yeah. That'll get the mood set. So, before we get kicked off, rejoice, fans, because today is a national holiday. That's right. 43 years ago, in the year 1977, on a Sunday morning, a blustery fall morning, approximately 11 a.m., yours truly entered into this world in a hospital in downtown Manhattan, St. Vincent's Hospital, which is no longer there because, once perfection walked out the door, they said, fuck it, Or they said, we don't want to be legally responsible for any more of these fucking lunatics. So the hospital went out of business, but... Yep, today's my birthday, kids. So, happy birthday to me. And, man, what a fucking birthday it's been so far. So, there's that. On the contrast side of that, I have some sad news. A cinematic icon was lost this week. A lot of people like to say the original James Bond. Fun fact, he wasn't the original James Bond. There was one actor before him, not very... sort of obscure, but Sean Connery is the person I'm talking about. The old Bond, James Bond. Sean Connery died at the ripe old age of 90. So, some people were shocked by that. As sad as I am to see him go. He was fucking 90. How long are you going to hold on to? How long are you going to stick around for? Personally, if you live past 75, you're wasting everyone's fucking time. Okay? Listen. Hear me out on this, because I have a plan. I'm punching out at 75. That's it. Over the fence, through the woods, and out of the fucking gate I'm going. Okay? 75 years old's a good time to call it a life. All right? It's simple. Okay? You can still trust a fart then. All right? You can sneeze without pissing your pants. All right? It's a good, you die with your boots on. A little dignity. He's 90. He was he would probably get up and piss himself. So, listen, as sad as we are to see him go, 90 years old, the fuck are you hanging around for, okay? Especially this year. This would be the year to punch out. If you're going to punch out in 2020, there's nothing left to see. Show's over. Bar's closed. They called last call. Get the fuck out of here, okay? So, Sean, sorry to see you go, my friend. He said, good night, Moneypenny, for the last time. So, there's that. So, salud to Sean Connery. All right, there you go. Don't worry, they'll keep making James Bond movies. So, your Corona update. Well, good news. Nobody got corona or died on Tuesday because it was election day. And subsequently, nobody's died since then. So, moving on. Governor Nostrils, our fearless fucking retarded friend in Albany, ended the coronavirus quarantine travel list. Yep, that's right. Now you can travel without fucking quarantining yourself for 2 weeks. I guess I don't know what bug crawled up his ass. It's kind of funny that they're lifting some of these regulations right before the election happened. But yeah, he did that actually, I think it was last Saturday. Okay, he lifted the quarantine list. So in other words, you could travel now to all of these banned states that they had. You don't have to quarantine for 14 days there or when you come back, but you do have to quarantine, I think, for a couple of days until you schedule a corona test, and you can take the test, and if it comes out negative, you're good to go. So that's an improvement, I guess. And the fucked up thing is, last Tuesday, Mayor Muppet Hands, we didn't forget him, Mayor Muppet Hands, urged people not to travel for the holidays to see their family. And yet 2 weeks earlier, according to one of his spokespeople, he was reported to be out of state visiting family. So I guess he went to the fucking zoo or something to visit some of his relatives. I don't know. But yeah, he was out of state, maybe Massachusetts, another one of them fucking wonderful blue states, visiting family. So yeah, that's your corona update. I think this says it all, huh? Okay. So, moving on. Get your tickets out, kids, because we are about to take the longest fucking fucked up crazy ass trip on that old favorite of ours, the Crazy Train. Woo woo! Oh God! So, I'm going to fucking harp on it. You waiting for it. I know people all week long have been texting me and emailing me and inboxing. What are you going to say on the wrap-up about the election? Oh, my God, the election. What's going on with the election? Holy fucking shit. I've been telling people all week, this fucking election is making my fucking skull hurt. I cannot believe what the fuck I'm seeing. Even in 2020, with all of the bullshit that's going on, and I've seen shit this year that I never thought I'd fucking see, okay? Our country getting shut down because somebody in China sneezed, okay? Just walking around in fucking masks and hazmat suits. You can't touch nothing. You can't go nowhere. You can't do nothing. Everything's closed by 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock. I've never in my life seen such fucking bedlam. And if someone told me a year ago, 2 years ago, fucking 10 years ago, that this would be happening, I'd probably have them committed for being on drugs, which brings me to another point, which I'll get to later in the show. So I don't know why I'm surprised by the bullshit that's going on with this fucking election, but I shouldn't be shocked by anything that happens this year, but this thing is just it's a shit show. Now, let me back up the train. Because, there's people out there, I'm so excited Joe Biden's going to win. And there are people that are diehard, Trump's got to win. Now, listen, here's how I see this, okay? All right? I don't even know where the fuck to begin, truthfully. Let's start with the voting, okay? Let's start with the voting. So, you had a couple of options. All of a sudden, we have options now when we want to fucking vote. So they use the coronavirus to kind of set the stage. And I've been saying this for a while. I said these fucking mail-in ballots are going to be a goddamn problem. They tried it one year when Bush was elected in Florida, and that was a fucking disaster. And I don't understand why they thought this was going to work with a fucking presidential election, especially one as divided as this one. But, the Democrats pushed, they got their way, they got their mail-in ballot. So you could send in an absentee ballot, okay? You could pre-vote in person. So for like the last week and a half, they had, voting sites open where people could go and vote in person. And I personally was like, no. I'm going to do it the fucking original way. I'm going to go on election day. I don't give a fuck how long I got to wait for, but I'm going on election day to vote. And people would call me and tell me, oh my God, I'm waiting in line for 2 hours. That's fucking crazy. And I don't understand. It's like all of a sudden, everybody forgot how to fucking vote. So, Election day, I fully expected to have some kind of fun little election story for you, where I had to wait online. Somebody was drooling on their shoes. Who shit their pants? I mean, I was prepared for everything. I went already. You know, I took some aspirin before I went. I got myself a nice cup of coffee. I expected that I was going to be waiting online for like 2-3 hours. I mean, I was in and out of there. Boom, 3 minutes. I said, "What the fuck is this now?" I have a few thoughts when it comes to voting in elections. And some of you might agree, and some of you go, "Oh my God, that's horrible. How can you say that?" Listen to me, okay? I'm well aware that about 2/3 of the world are fucking clinically stupid. And I'm not just saying people who vote Democrat, although, no offense, guys, if you're a fucking, if you're a Democrat. But for the most part, you ever talk to one of these people and look in their eyes? You know what you see? Nothing. They're dead. They're dead. Like, people would tell me, "I'm voting for Biden." Why? I don't like Trump. Okay. Why? Because he's nasty. He says terrible things. Decency's on the ballot. I'm off on goal with the decency. Who gives a shit about you? Listen, you got one guy who's already got a proven track record, right? Best economy we've ever had. Lowest record of unemployment we've ever had. Tax cuts put more money in the fucking pockets of the working class and middle class people than has ever happened before. There's been, he's pioneered criminal reform and all kinds. I mean, I don't have to fucking run down the list. It's out there. Google it. The information's out there. If you believe it, you believe it. If you don't, you don't. I mean, I'm sitting there telling you, yeah, as a small business owner under Trump, I made more money. That's bottom line. I mean, middle-class families received more of a fucking kickback from the IRS than they had in the past. Those are facts, okay? Then you got this other guy whose meds are retarded. I mean, sometimes he's talking. He's like, he doesn't even fucking use words, okay? Bottom line, he basically told everybody, here's what my plan is. I'm going to raise your taxes, and I'm going to cut industries like oil and fracking and all this other bullshit, right? Okay, so basically he told the working class people, and I'm talking about the blue collar people like in Pennsylvania, Ohio, Michigan, Wisconsin. Basically, he's gonna kill your fucking industries, okay, and raise your taxes in the middle of a recession. And some people go, "Oh, that's a great idea." So this is what you're voting for. Okay, I'll give you an example of how stupid people are. A friend of mine was telling me, her financial advisor was talking to a client. The client's a very wealthy lady. She has a $1 million tax bill currently under Trump. And she asked the lady, "Well, who are you voting for?" And the lady said, "Oh, I'm voting for Biden." And she's, "All right, let me, as your financial consultant, I have to put this in perspective for you. Currently, you have a $1 million tax bill. You vote for Biden under his current tax plan, your tax bill goes up to $2 million. And her response was, I can't stand Trump." These are the fucking retards that are voting. Okay, so here's my point about people who vote. All right? Just because someone told you you're entitled to vote doesn't mean you should. First of all, anyone who just became a naturalized citizen, I know, people go, "Oh my God, I can't believe you're saying this." I'm not fucking saying, because I mean, what the hell? What I got to lose? What I got to lose, right? Okay? So if you just became a fucking citizen, you should not be allowed to vote in the current year election. You should be allowed to vote in the following year election. So if you became a naturalized citizen, okay, within the last 4 years, you shouldn't be allowed to vote for this particular, because you know what? You're biased. I'm sorry, you're biased, okay? Cut your teeth, make your bones, pay a few years in fucking taxes, and then we'll listen to your fucking opinion, okay? Sorry, that's the way it should be. You want to call me a racist for that? Then you're a fucking ignorant asshole, okay? Because, like I said, I'm not racist. I hate everyone equally. So, that's one. Two, people should have to take a fucking IQ test before they're allowed to vote. Now, granted, I understand that this could backfire on some people that vote for Republican, okay? Because, I mean, let's face it, not all fucking voters are informed, and not all voters are fucking intelligent. And I've come across people, "Oh, I like Trump." Why? Because he says it like it is. All right, you shouldn't be allowed to vote. And I've told them that fucking flat out. You shouldn't be allowed to vote because you want to vote for a guy because he tells it like it is. That's not criteria to give someone a fucking job. Give me a reason. Same people that go, I'm voting for Biden because Trump's a racist. Okay, can you tell me in one sentence why you're voting for Biden without even mentioning Trump? And most people can't. They don't even know what the fucking guy stands for. They don't understand what's going on behind the scenes. They don't understand what's going to happen going forward under this guy. You're basically just voting in a socialist regime. He flat out says he's going to pack the Supreme Court, which is going to tip every fucking decision towards a liberal thinking process. So which means legislation could just get passed through if it gets fucking butted out of the Senate. He's going to decimate the fucking healthcare industry by reinstating the fucking mandate. Okay, so there's another tax hike for you idiots. Along with, instituting a new form of Obamacare, which didn't fucking work the first time. Okay, and you know what that's going to do? It's going to jack up the cost of healthcare for everybody that's paying for fucking better policies than this piece of shit that they want to fucking roll out. Okay, so when you decimate the oil industry, gas is going to go from $2 a gallon to $6. Electricity is going to go up. Everything's going to go up. Okay? So this is what you're voting for. All right? So that said, so people should take a fucking IQ test. Okay? Because not everybody has the mental acuity to pick a fucking candidate. Okay? They shouldn't allow senior citizens past a certain age to vote. Because most of them don't know what fucking planet they're on. Okay? They had a woman on Channel 12, 100 and something fucking years old, and she goes in and votes and like, oh yeah, I don't even know who she voted for. She could have voted for Trump. I don't know. I don't give a fuck. Okay? So she goes in and votes, and then she had one leg. They go in, she's 1,000 years old. They tried to interview her. So what did you think? How many elections have you voted in? 1 million. Look at her. And she's like, she was barely fucking coherent at the goddamn the newscast. And I go, okay, back to you. These are not people that should be allowed to vote. All right? Now, the people who run the elections, like, these election sites and stuff like that, these people, all right? And my mother is actually one of them. So I'm believe me when I tell you, I'm saying this for a fucking reason. They really need to have a better vetting process for some of these people because they're a little mentally irregular. Like my mother's fucking Marie Barone. Okay, I love my mother, but I wouldn't trust her with a fucking election. Okay, because I wouldn't be surprised if somehow she screwed it up. Okay, but here's my point. So I go in to vote. And I go up to the table, and now here's what triggered me. Because this is what I thought was a little off. Now, in past elections, when you got to go vote, you tell them your name, you got to give them identification, they got to make sure it's you got to bring something with you. Now it was all on a tablet. So I go in and I say, okay, here's I give them my name, all right? And she repeats back to me my address, like, qualifying information. She's telling me what it is. She's, and your address is blah, 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 blah. I'm like, yeah. I says, you should have just asked me for my address, and if it matched what you had in your records, then you let me vote. I said, don't tell me my fucking information. Let me tell it to you. I says, you don't need ID or nothing? She's like, no. So she has to call one of the verifiers over to sign, to verify that I signed or whatever. So I guess, depending upon what party you're at, okay, might be a different verifier. I don't know exactly how it works, but my point is this woman wasn't watching, she wasn't paying attention, or maybe this was being done intentionally. I don't know. I'm not making accusations. Or I assume the woman was fucking stupid. So the guy comes over, she goes, he's registered as Democrat. I said, no, I'm not. Oh, fucking flat out saying, I'm not ashamed to admit it. I says, no, I'm a registered Republican. I says, whatever you got to fucking change it, better change it now, cause I'm not. This isn't cool. And the guy looked at the thing and goes, no, he's not a Democrat, he's a Republican. He says, you got to pay attention to what you're doing. He says, this is not the first time he did this. And he starts ripping her a new asshole. So she gets all like fucking indignant. And I says, listen, not for nothing. I says, this isn't a complicated job. If you can't pay attention to what you're doing, maybe you should find something else. I mean, fucking Walmart's always hiring, right? And she's like, everybody paying attention to what I'm doing. I said, that's because you're not. I took my fucking ballot and I went and I voted. Okay? So the whole process, even this little fucking fracas, was about 3 minutes, tops. I walked out of there and I'm like, that was quick and painless. Now, I come home. I went, I had something to eat. I come home. I sit down. I put the fucking news on. I put on Fox 5 because the other news channels that irritate the shit out of me. Not that Fox does such a wonderful job, but they're a little bit better than most. So I start watching this whole fucking tree ring circus starting to unfold. The bottom line is this. Okay, I noticed a couple of fucking things that made me go, okay, but I let it go. So, for example, New York, the polls closed at 9 o'clock. And at 9:02, they had the fucking results, and they called it for Biden. Now, I'm not surprised New York went blue. It usually does. Certain cities, like Manhattan, is blue. The boroughs usually go red. Nassau, Suffolk goes red. All the rural parts, all the upstate parts of New York State go red, with the exception of Buffalo and Rochester, which typically swing blue. Okay, so you got 4 fucking counties in the entire state of New York that go blue, but they called it for fucking Biden, and they called it in 2 minutes. I said, wow, how the fuck did they count all those votes in 2 minutes? Mingy, this will be a fast election, right? Wrong. Okay. Then they call Arizona for Biden, but they only had like 70% of the votes in. And I noticed this discrepancy throughout the whole thing. They were calling, as soon as the fucking state tipped blue, they'd fucking call it. If it was still red, they wouldn't call it yet. They called Florida and Texas, and the pollsters had it completely fucking wrong. Okay, they figured Florida and Texas were going to swing to Biden, and they went to Trump, and people were fucking like stunned again. Okay, it was like 2016 all over again. So they stopped calling states for him at that point. They shut the fucking voting down. I said, well, what do you mean they're shutting it down? So as of 2:30 in the morning, Donald Trump had a commanding lead in all the swing states, all the battleground states. Wisconsin, he led it by like 51%, something like that. Michigan, he had it by like almost 52%. Fucking Pennsylvania was a landslide. He had North Carolina. He had Georgia. You looked at the screen, he had the fucking thing won by a landslide. Because people showed up and voted. Okay? He won this on the fucking actual vote. Including all the preemptive voting, not the ballots. So that's when they started with the bullshit. They started counting these fucking magical ballots in the middle of the night. So around 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, 140,000 ballots showed up in Wisconsin, all for Biden. Not a single one for Trump. Same shit's in Michigan, same things happening in Georgia and fucking Pennsylvania. So apparently Democrats only vote by mail. I gotta believe this. Now people are saying, the president is falsely accusing the election of being rigged. False. Mama que gotcha. What are you, fucking blind? How do you not see this? Listen. Okay, if the ballots came in, some for Trump, some for Biden, and it was a little tighter, okay, maybe I'd buy it. Maybe. I said this voting shit, this mail-in voting shit's gonna be a problem because it leaves too much room for error. So these fucking ballots have been sitting around in a post office warehouse all this time, and now they fucking research. They're finding new ballots all the time. Apparently, there's a lot of fucking bullshit happening with them. They gave these ballots out to illegal aliens. There's more votes on the ballots. There's more ballots that were voted on than there were actual registered voters. The numbers don't fucking match. Numbers don't lie. I'm a numbers guy, right? So numbers don't fucking lie. How do you explain this shit? Okay? They filed lawsuits to have observers come into the count rooms and watch them. They do that in Vegas. And in Pennsylvania, they won the suit, and the Democratic Party applied for an appeal. The observers came in. They wouldn't let them observe. They make them stand 100 feet away. They board up windows with cardboard and shit. What are you fucking hiding? If you got a straight fucking vote going on, then you shouldn't be hiding anything, right? You only hide shit when you're doing stuff a little fugazi. Apparently, they're throwing out the fucking Trump votes. They're counting the goddamn Biden votes. They're filling out incorrect ballots. If someone filled it out incorrectly, you should disqualify it. They vote, and they're going, oh, count the votes. It's democracy. This is not fucking democracy. This is flat out fucking fraud. Look, I got no problem with criminals. I don't think they're bad people. But if you're going to be a fucking criminal, be a smart one. I mean, this is just fucking... And even the news said it. The president had a point. You don't have 140,000 ballots or 110,000 or 120. They all show up. They're all for the same fucking guy. I ain't buying it. Okay? This is just a fucking... This is a disaster. This is not democracy. Look, you know what? Clearly, we know who I want to be president. if Biden won this straight, okay, just on the fucking vote count on election day, like it always is, I wouldn't like it. I'd be pissed, but I can't contest it. It is what it is. It's a fair fight. That's like getting into a ring with a guy, right? And who's the fucking champ, the heavyweight champ, and putting 2 fucking rolls of quarters in your gloves and then breaking his fucking face open and going, I won. No, you didn't. That ain't a fair fight. Okay? Now, if both of you's got fucking rolls of quarters in your gloves, that's a different story. Then if you win, you're the better puncher. What do you want me to tell you? Guy's got a glass jaw. This is not the case here. He did have this fucking one. I hate to say it. I hate to tell you. He had it won. Now, all of a sudden, with all these fucking magical ballots that are being counted, he don't have it won. Yeah. Even if those ballots are legit, you're leaving too much fucking room for error. Okay, which I sincerely believe they're bullshit. Okay, so this whole fucking thing is a travesty. You cannot allow this to go on. You cannot, if Biden wins by the fucking mail-in ballot, you cannot let him be president, because it sows distrust into the election system. Who the fuck's gonna vote anymore? Why bother vote? Listen, you know what? Everyone said, why is this guy sitting in his basement the whole time? You know what? A friend of mine made a good point today. You know why Biden was in the fucking basement? Because he knew this was happening. He knew this was the fucking plan all along. I said it. The president said it. Lots of people said it in the news, in the media. This ballot thing, this mail-in ballot thing is going to be a fucking disaster. Now, here's my solution. Because this could be all-out fucking civil war if we allow this to continue. Because Trump is not going to concede.
I'm not leaving. I'm not fucking leaving! The show goes on. This is my home. They're gonna need a fucking wrecking ball to take me out of here. They're gonna need to send in the National Guard or fucking SWAT team, because I ain't going nowhere. Fuck them.
And neither is Biden. I mean, Hillary Clinton told Biden, don't concede even if you lose. Okay, so Trump should. He's got a point. This is bullshit. Now, the way election day works is November 3rd. Every year is election day, unless it falls on a fucking Sunday. Okay? You show up, you vote, you leave. That's it. They use the coronavirus as an excuse. Well, people don't want to wait in line, social distancing. But they fucking waited in line for 2 hours all week. That wasn't a problem. So, this is going to go to the Supreme Court. Okay? This is going to get batted around. Eventually, this doesn't end well this way. So, my solution to this fucking problem is fairly simple. You listening, fuckheads? Okay? You follow me, fucksticks. Watch this. Uncle Tommy's going to fix it for you. Okay? It's going to go to court. What I think they should do is just fucking throw this election in the garbage. Squash it. Set a new election date. Let's make it December 3rd. Okay? Gives both candidates a little time to regroup, do a little bit more battleground campaigning, and set December 3rd as the new election day for 2020. Okay? One day. No mail-in bullshit. No pre-voting bullshit. You show up on December 3rd and you fucking vote. That's it. Just like it always is. They'll count the votes in a day and bada bing, off they go. And whoever wins, wins. Whether it be Trump, whether it be Biden, whoever fucking wins, wins. That's fair. That's how you do it. Okay? Not this fucking, all this malaviuta with all this bullshit that's making me fucking demented. Okay? I swear to God, I haven't fucking slept in days. This thing is making me fucking crazy. Okay? That's how you fix it. And if people go, I don't want to wait in line, I'm terrified. Good. Stay fucking home. Listen, you know what? If you don't make it to the polls on a regular election, nobody's calling you up and going, oh, you didn't make it? Who do you want to vote for? Nobody gives a fuck. You don't make it, you don't make it. That's it. Get up early. Make sure you're the first one there. I don't know what to tell you. I don't want to hear that you're scared of the coronavirus. Wear your fucking mask. There was no social distancing on any of these lines. Everybody's right up each other's ass. Okay? I've seen fucking pictures all week long. People are sending me pics. Look what's going on. So there's no social distancing. If you're afraid, stay home. Stay home. Listen, if people are going to wait in fucking line at Target to buy fucking toilet paper and board games and puzzles during a pandemic, they'll wait in line to vote. And if they don't want to, it's their choice. It's a free country. Stay fucking home. What do you want me to tell you? Okay? That's how you fix this fucking problem. Okay? And again, whoever wins, wins. If Biden happens to win that way, so be it. I shut up. You know, if all these fucking magical goddamn Democrats that voted by ballot 4, 5, 6, 18, 22 times, even the dead ones show up and vote, because that was another problem. Okay? Then, hey, so be it. He wins that way on a straight election. You can't even say anything. And if Trump wants to fucking fight it at that point, even I would be the guy to tell him, listen, you lost, dude. Just show a little dignity and walk on into the sunset. But if he fucking wins, then it's at least uncontestable, okay? Because if he wins to a Supreme Court decision, the Democrats are going to have a fucking problem with that too. So I think the fair thing to do here, redo. Hit the fucking reset button. It ain't too late. It won't plunge the country into a fucking civil war. I think, if anything, some people would be more pleased with that, because at least it's a fucking straight election. There's no ambiguity. You show up, you vote, you leave. That's it. End of discussion. That's a democratic and fair election, not this fucking bullshit. Okay, there's too many allegations of post office masters telling people to backdate ballots and express them over to the count centers. People are blocking windows. There's fucking protests and riots. I mean, you're just asking for fucking problems with these stupid mail-in ballots. Apparently, Democrats only vote by mail. So if they all show up and vote, great. And if they're afraid and they stay home hiding under their fucking covers, then that's okay too. All right? But that's how you fucking fix this problem. Because this is bullshit. There. Now, that's my 2 cents on the presidential election. I fucking ranted for a half hour on this. I told you this one was going to be long. Now, next stop on the crazy train, South Florida. You didn't think I forgot about our friends in Florida. So get this shit. Okay? Get this shit. This delighted me. It reminded me of the story with the chimpanzee that ripped a woman's face off. Still a fucking classic. Brucey, if you're watching, I still play the fucking Friday sometimes by myself. I play the chimpanzee called Laugh My Nuts Off. So this is right along those lines. So a South Florida man got mauled by a black leopard in somebody's backyard. What the fuck is wrong with people? Seriously, I don't understand. This is what I mean. Everybody should get an IQ test before they vote. Okay, this guy might have voted Republican. I don't know, but seriously, he should have an IQ test. So a guy named Dwight Turner paid some other guy $150. This guy's got a fucking black leopard in his backyard, and Dwight wanted to have a full experience with the black leopard. He wanted to play with it. He wanted to rub its belly. He wanted to cuddle with it. And look at this ass face. Okay, and I guess it didn't like to be cuddled. I mean, leopards don't like to be cuddled. I guess it wasn't in the fucking manual. The leopard just mauled him. So 1 minute he's like, "Oh, this is fun. It's playing with me," and it fucking ripped his goddamn face off. Good. That's how you learn. So now, you know, the guy who had the leopard is being brought up on charges. This guy wants his $150 back because his fucking right eye is hanging out of his fucking face. Okay? Who the fuck thinks it's a good idea to play with a leopard? Okay? But what is wrong with people? Oh, he's so cute. I mean, and the next thing you know, your lips are on the floor. I mean, what the fuck is wrong with these assholes? The guy Dwight Turner probably voted Democrat, by the way. He looked like he was liberal. Okay? Fucking guy. So, yeah. So, the leopard mauled this guy's face. Fucking, you can't make this shit up. I love the news. Next stop. West Coast, baby. So, here we go. California. 2 kayakers in California almost got swallowed by a humpback whale. These fucking whales, I'm telling you, they're causing problems left and right. This, you know what? I remember back in the 80s, some of you kids might be too young for this, but back in the 80s, people were terrified that the humpback whale was going to be extinct because people used to hunt them for their blubber and whatever the fuck they hunted them for. Yeah, I bet you they're not. I bet you they regret that decision. So these two people, they voted Democrat, definitely in California. They're kayaking in the ocean, and all of a sudden, this goddamn humpback whale comes up. A humpback whale is like a fucking aircraft carrier with fins. You ever see one of these things? I mean, it makes a great white shark look like a guppy. Okay, it's got a mouth the size of fucking Nassau County. So this goddamn thing comes up from underneath them. And just fucking it capsized the boat, but it almost swallowed him. Could you imagine this shit? I would have shit myself 18 times. There would be shit all over my wetsuit, all in the fucking kayak, in the whale's mouth. I mean, you're kayaking along, and then all of a sudden this fucking sea creature comes up out of nowhere and flips you over. You're looking down his fucking mouth. It's like looking down a Midtown tunnel. Okay, that smoke screen that keeps the sharks away that I got. That would keep that whale away fast. Okay? This is probably the same fucking asshole whale that got a goddamn bag stuck in its blowhole. Okay? See? This is what I mean. This whale was an asshole. We were all upset that it got a plastic bag stuck in its blowhole. Now I gotta pay 5 cents every time I want to fuck a bag at the supermarket, but this thing's running around capsizing people. We don't have a problem with that. Okay, next stop. We're going to circle back around to the West Coast again. We're back East Coast. We're going back and forth. West Coast, East Coast. It's like the Biggie Tupac rivalry. So New Jersey, our friends over the bridge, just announced that they have legalized recreational marijuana. Because apparently they weren't fucking dumb enough in New Jersey. Okay, you already can't make a left-hand turn. All right, the whole state's all fucked up. They voted blue. And, now Murphy goes, it's a good idea to give everybody a joint. This is the same fucking state that had restaurants closed for like 8 months. Okay? Closed. 8 months. This son of a bitch just legalized marijuana. And get this shit. This fucking jerk off in Albany with his fucking 4-inch nostrils, Captain America, he's thinking of doing the same thing in New York. Because he wants to generate additional tax revenue because now the city's broke. But I'm gonna get caught. Said, we don't have enough fucking problems here. You think giving everybody a joint's gonna be is gonna help the situation? Look, first of all, and people go, how could you say I use marijuana for everything? Listen, if you want to go fucking smoke a joint, go smoke a joint. I don't give a fuck. Okay, I really don't care. It doesn't affect me. Just don't smoke it around me. I don't need to get a contact guy. I'm hungry enough as it is. But legalizing, well, first of all, you're cutting into the fucking pockets of the goddamn dealers. Now you're putting these poor guys out of business, right? Guys try to fucking sell an ounce or two of fucking, hash or pot just to make a few extra dollars. And now here comes Cuomo going, no, we're going to watch the numbers and we're going to sell it legally. Now you're going to put the fucking drug dealers out of business. These assholes can't collect fucking unemployment. I mean, come on. It's getting harder and harder to make a dishonest living unless you're a Democrat. So moving back to the West Coast in Oregon, and this is a state that went blue fast, by the way, okay? Are you starting to see a pattern here? I'm sorry, Democrats, but, these are facts. Oregon, which is just north of California for you geographically challenged people, legalized drugs, like all drugs, like hardcore drugs, not just marijuana. They legalized cocaine. They legalized heroin. They fucking legalized meth. But where's the fucking logic in this? Please, can someone tell me where? How does the whole state go? Let's just make everybody a junkie, and that's going to make things better. So you got people just shooting up. Imagine this, you go to work, this guy sitting next to you, all of a sudden starts tapping one off and just shoots up, and they fucking melt into their chair for 19 hours. Okay? Who's ODing? Who's doing it? Who's fucking cutting lines off the goddamn desk? Kai, you gotta be fucking kidding me. And these are the people that vote. Do you see my point? Do you see why this is just one big fucking shit show? I mean, but where is the fucking logic in this? People tell me, Tommy, you gotta calm down. You're gonna have a fucking stroke doing one of these shows. You know what? If I haven't stroked out yet this week, I'm fine. Knock wood. And if I do stroke out, I hope it's on camera with you guys so you see it. It'll go viral in about 5 minutes. If I'm screaming and all of a sudden and I start to fucking like lose feeling in the left side of my face, don't call 911. Let me die. Just let me go. Tell the world my story. Show them the videos. Okay, but just let me go. Okay, because I don't want to see what's going to happen in 2021. 2020 was already a fucking dumpster fire. I don't need to see anything past this. Okay, but if I happen to stroke out, make sure you tweet this out and send it through Facebook. It'll be a hit, I'm telling you. So, that's your Crazy Train update. I should have made like 4 of these. Next up, your sports update. I got nothing. Have you seen the fucking Giants play football? Because I haven't. I heard they had a lead again with the Bucks, and I heard they fucked it up. Here's my surprised face. Okay? They should give the Giants and Jets heroin. They should send them to Oregon for a week. Let them get fucking all tuned up. Let them play with heroin. Okay? That would be more entertaining to watch than this shit. But better still, get one team cocaine and one team heroin and mix them up. And let's see what happens. Okay? That would be better than anything that the Jets or Giants are doing right now. And on other news, half of the NFL has the fucking coronavirus. And that's it. That's your fucking sports update. I don't even want to watch sports. I don't want to watch the news. I don't even want to talk to people anymore. Okay? This is what we come down to. So my little weekly observations. Actually, I have my one of my biggest fans, my buddy Gaby. He'll like this. He likes when I have Dunkin' Donuts stories. So. This actually happened last week, and I didn't mention it. That's what happens when you do these shows at off hours. I didn't mention it last week, but I was in Dunkin' Donuts the other. Again, these are people who fucking vote, and I guarantee you, this lady voted Democrat. No question about it. So I'm in Dunkin' Donuts the other last week, and it's in the morning, and I'm waiting in line for my coffee, and there's a lady ordering coffee, and she's trying to pay with her Apple Watch. This fucking enrages me. I don't understand why people... Listen, I get it. Technology's fun. Take your fucking debit card out, stick it in the machine, take $3 out of your pocket, give it to the fucking guy, and be done with it. So they had this new kid. I haven't seen him before. Little Indian fella. Nice, I mean, a young kid, you know. And the woman's like, I don't understand. It's not working. And she keeps doing this, by the way. She's waving it in front of... I don't understand. It's not working. Why isn't it working? It worked yesterday. And she's going like this. She's going like this. She's going like... And the fucking kid, you could see, with count of times... You could see his jaw dropping in his mask. And all she's doing is this in front of him the whole time for like 5 minutes. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And I look... And she's not wearing a fucking Apple Watch. She's wearing like a regular fucking watch. No wonder it ain't working. And I guess, in case, you know, I go fucking on a jog. I go up there. I said, lady, you gotta move. You're not even wearing a fucking Apple Watch. She goes, what are you talking about? She says, oh, I just pushed her aside. The manager's like terrified of me. So he sees when I get nuts, my coffee comes out right away. I take my coffee, I pay for it, I leave. The guy behind me did the same thing. So she's still standing there like waiting to see what's going to happen. Meanwhile, the kid is still fucking... He doesn't know what to do because he must have just landed here. He must have just got off the last camel from fucking Pakistan. And he starts his day with some crazy woman doing this in front of him the whole time. I mean, you can see where his fucking head went because she wasn't a bad-looking broad. And there she's going... She's making the universal motion of pulling his fucking chain. Right? This is what happens. And like I said, this woman clearly voted Democrat. You could just tell, right? Which brings me to my next fucking point. Back to the election. Like I said, you got a lot of stupid fucking people out there, okay? So I knew this election was going to be tight. So I've said what I said about Biden's policies, what he wants to do. if Biden should win on a straight election, I mean, at this point, if he wins and he becomes the president, I say now, because I'm going to be affected directly by this. Anybody who's going to be affected directly by this, not just myself. You're going to pay higher taxes. You're going to pay higher utility bills. The country's going to go to fucking hell in a handbasket, and it's all going to fall on the shoulders of the middle class and the taxpayers, and that's us, people, okay? So I say, to be fair, because you know me, I like to find the silver lining. So here's what I say we do, okay? If Biden should become president, it's out of our hands, so be it. What the fuck can we do? Apparently elections don't mean shit anyway. Anytime someone tells you, oh, I voted for Biden, you should be able to punch them right in the fucking neck, okay? Make their teeth click, okay? Knock their fucking teeth in, okay? You should be able to punch that person right in the fucking face, okay? And that's exactly what I'm going to do. If Biden wins, the next fucking person who tells me they voted for Biden, I'm going to knock their fucking teeth in, okay? Or I'm going to break their neck with a shot. And I'm going to tell you something right now. I'm not even remotely afraid of the police at this point. And I'll tell you why. Because the Democrats want to defund the police, so there won't be any cops around to fucking save these assholes anyway, okay? So it's a perfect fucking plan. And if a cop does show up, 99.9% of the time, they fucking voted Republican. Just say, I hit that guy because they voted for Biden. All right. And they're going to walk away. Okay? Don't matter who you are. Okay? If they lock you up anyway, then shut the fuck up, because that guy's probably going to take you back and shoot you. Okay? Because he's not really a cop that's wired too well. But I'm going to tell you, 99% of the time, no cops are going to respond because they ain't going to be around. Democrats win, we can kiss fucking law and order goodbye. So, next time someone tells you, I'm voting for Biden, or I voted for Biden, feel free to break their fucking windpipe and watch them choke to death slowly, okay? Or pull their fucking eyelids off. Or just like I said, just hit them in the fucking side of the neck, make their teeth click, they bite their fucking tongue off, and then they can't talk no more and spread their stupidity. And that's it. And that's the Friday wrap-up for you. So hopefully next week when we see you, we'll know who the fucking president's going to be. And until then, I'll see you when I see you.